Every morning the world starts quietly, one soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing, a spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together.
Where am I? Good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome to Kindness Rising. Today we are going to begin a short series. We'll do a couple episodes here on a specific work, James Allen's As a Man Thinketh. Allen makes a bold claim. Thoughts aren't passive. They shape character, and character shapes our circumstances. Most of us assume that circumstances build us, but Allen argues the opposite, that we build our circumstances from the inside out. And as he writes, you are today where your thoughts have brought you, which leaves a very practical question. Where are your thoughts taking you next? Let's get into it here on Kindness Rising. I am glad that you are all here joining us, joining me, and those out in the community. Get involved in the chat. Say hello. Mike Sullivan, there you are. Good morning. I appreciate you. And Mother Roseanne Roof, good morning. My loyal listeners, I appreciate you both so much. Really, honestly, it just means I know that you're there. I mean, it means a lot. And whoever else is out there, join the chat, jump in, say hello as we talk about James Allen's As a Man Thinketh and a couple of other things. But I wanted to share this. Mom, you probably recognize this, right? It was my father's book. My mother actually presented it to my child as a little reminder or a learning opportunity from her grandfather. But I started reading it. I picked it up. It was just sitting there. Picked it up and I opened it up. Open up the book and I left the bookmark, and I've been reading through it over and over again, but I left the bookmark right where I had just opened it up to see what it was about. And the paragraph that I read says, the vision that you glorify in your mind, the ideal that you enthrone in your heart, this you will build your life by, and this you will become. I was like, oh, that's interesting, an interesting twist. Let me think. It caught my ear enough to start reading it. And so I started getting into it, reading it, highlighting it, thinking about it. And I want to share it with you because I think it fits very well with what we do here on Kindness Rising. And if you take James Allen's idea and you break it down to what's underneath there, this is what he's basically saying. You have thoughts. We all have thoughts. They're all in our head. And those thoughts that we repeat over and over and over again to ourselves. Some we reveal to others, some we keep within ourselves. Whatever it is that we are thinking about ourselves or about others, over time that becomes our identity. And then our identity is what shapes our behaviors, our choices. Those behaviors become habits, and those habits create our circumstance. So thought, identity, behavior, habit, circumstance, that's the path. Not to the back of the book, to the front of the book. I just thought it was very interesting. And basically, that is just a more process-oriented way of saying that your thoughts become things. Remember, an architect doesn't begin with the bricks. He begins with the blueprint, the vision, something internal. And Allen suggests the same pattern for our lives. Interestingly, though, neuroscience has been catching up to this. Neuroscience says, yeah, it's supported by science. term neuroplasticity, which we've talked about again before, but that's basically the idea that your brain rewires itself around whatever those circuits are that you repeatedly activate. It's habits, excuse me, habits or what you do every day. Your brain starts to rewire itself around those, and if you've ever changed a habit or overcome something, learned a new skill, those kind of things, which we all probably have done in our lives, you already know the answer. The answer is internal first, external second. And so here's a question for you all to think about while I talk about it, maybe, and maybe you can talk about it too. The question is, when was the last time a change in your thinking came before a change in your life? I bet it's happened. If you sit with it for a second and are a little self-aware, perhaps you have a moment or a period of time in your life where you thought about something differently and all of a sudden everything changed. And I'll talk to you about mine, and I'd love to hear about yours. The idea of thought before life, that really clicked when I realized that my purpose isn't defined by my career, but it's something that I apply to my career. For a long time, I got that backwards. I kept waiting for the right role. I kept looking within healthcare because I thought my path to kindness and service had to be through industry, had to be through what I did for a living, and that it was defined and it was known healthcare is doing good. Therefore, if you're working in healthcare, you are doing good, right? Well, all that doing good, all that doing good for the greater good was actually not doing very good for me for years, especially when I was in the world of healthcare operations, for sure. On paper, it made sense. Work in a field where you're doing good, you're giving back, and you're serving the world, and you will be doing good, working and serving the world. But internally, it just didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense. I am very proud of what I built in that career. There's a lot of things that I did. I don't need to rattle off my resume, but I had many successes despite being miserable a lot with it. And I spent a long time trying to make that mismatch work because I believed my purpose came from what was outside of me rather than what was inside of me. I know now that purpose works the other way. Kindness and service aren't about the industry, they're about the mindset, the thought that comes first. That's what you carry with you. And when the thought changes, the life follows. I look at it this way: kindness becomes the lens, not the job description. And when that lens changes, you can serve from anywhere. From anywhere. That's what I'm doing now. I'm serving from here. I'm serving from right here in my basement with you. I'm serving when I'm out there in the world trying to help businesses grow. I'm serving when I'm trying to help entrepreneurs and founders and others get their voice heard in the world. That's still serving. That's serving the world. What I can do. I could try to spread some kindness in the morning. I can network with people and help them to spread their kindness and their message of good work for good people. That's something I can do. And that's just as noble as working in healthcare. And it fills my purpose of kindness and it matches what I want to do with my life and how I like to spend my time and the things I like to talk and think about. And so that is my ramble about my story of how I shifted from external focus, had to be the industry, had to be working in an industry that was doing something good, giving back in order to be considered good and giving back. Two, I can do that from anywhere. And So that is what struck me about As a Man Thinketh. It kind of was like, oh, I did that. I did it without even realizing it. Wish I had read the book 30 years ago, maybe. But I'm going to continue to lead into this idea. I will lean into this idea because I know that why thoughts will become things, are becoming things. And that stops becoming philosophical and starts being practical when we move it into action. Can't Thoughts are awesome. I'm it's important. It starts with thoughts. It's the foundation. But I also know that you have to take the right action. Daniel Allison, good morning. Welcome in. How you doing, buddy? Have you had your first sip yet? I'm having mine right now. I appreciate that you have come in and joined me here. Absolutely. Welcome on board. And Reggie and Rusty, they've been thinking about this and what it means for them too.
I've been thinking millionaire thoughts all morning,
How do those smell?
like leather seats and passive income.
How many action items? 0.
But the thoughts are caviar grade.
Your actions are off-brand canned tuna.
Manifestation is a process.
So is making a sandwich. Start there.
Okay. The continuing adventures and evolution of Rusty and Reggie. I don't know. It's fun. It's fun. But the point is exactly that, which is Rusty thinking his millionaire thoughts, but never taking actions. How many action steps? 0. And so that's where our agency comes into play and where we need to start making choices about our actions. Absolutely. We're going to talk about actions, the action step. Maybe I set that up just a little too soon, but that's tomorrow. We're going to continue the conversation about James Allen here on Kindness Rising, just like we do not James Allen, but we do show up. I show up every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, to bring you a little hope, humanity, and heart, a little bit of maybe some sage advice, some things that I've learned along the way to build our community. That is what I like best, is when we are building our community together. Absolutely. Absolutely. So get involved. Tell me what's up. When was there a time that your thinking maybe changed the way you behave, change your entire world, change the way you thought about something, change the way you thought about something, changed the way you live? That's what I was trying to say, but apparently struggled with it. But I do want to shift. Because I haven't done Kindness Spotlight in quite some time, and I think it's important. It's important for us to multiply kindness and unlock growth for good people doing good work. And that is what Active Minds does. Active Minds, do people know this? It is actually an organization that leans into the principles that we've talked about with James Allen, but long before adulthood, actually. It's actually a youth mental health organization throughout the organization, and their mission is simple and powerful: to change the conversation about mental health for young people. And they do it in a way that aligns beautifully with Allen's thesis, that what we think about ourselves matters, because thoughts shape behavior, resilience, and possibility. Absolutely. Active Minds focuses on college campuses, high schools, and young adults, because that's where the internal narratives start getting written. It's where so many of us first meet anxiety, identity, purpose, stress, freedom, and fear all at once. But here's what I love. The Active Minds doesn't just talk to young people about mental health. They empower young people to talk to each other peer-to-peer, story-to-story, and campus-to-campus, so that the internal shared narrative shifts from I'm alone in this to I'm not alone, I have support. And when that narrative shifts within people's minds, the thought changes, and that thought becomes connection. That connection becomes resilience, and that resilience becomes action. So I think Active Minds is a pretty cool organization. Check them out. I meant to show their website, but I did not. And if you want to learn more, get involved, activeminds.org. They are a nonprofit organization, because when we help young people reshape their inner world, we change the outer world too. And I just keep smashing the thing. All right. Switching gears a little bit. Did you all see the announcement made yesterday by Mattel? Mattel Toys doing something playful but meaningful in the world of toys. They've started a new line of toys that is trying to help people see a little bit more of themselves in the dolls and the toys that they create. I think it's called Fashionistas, actually. I read about that. The Fashionistas. And over the past 18 months, Barbie has been working with an organization called the Autistic Self Advocacy Network. And they are making dolls now to feel more authentic to aspects of the autistic experience rather than just symbolic. They're not trying to put people into a hole and say autism looks like this or doesn't look like that. That's been some of the controversy around it, right? I don't think that's the point. I understand people want to say, well, what about me? It doesn't reflect exactly me, that kind of thing. But the idea that it's symbolic. The doll includes thoughtful design choices inspired by real experiences with people with autism. The eyes are slightly averted, right? The bend and the move, the elbows to support expressive movements. Some kids use to regulate sensation, right? We have fidgeters, and they call it stimming, right? Sensory friendly clothing. She wears noise canceling headphones. She's got a pink fidget spinner and a little communication tablet modeled after augmented and alternative communication systems, which is pretty cool. I think that's cool. The goal isn't to say that autism only looks this way, but it's just to broaden representation of children so that they can see themselves in that beloved icon. I think it's brilliant marketing, obviously, but that's not the point, because it's right where marketing meets reality, right? They'll sell dolls because of it. Of course they will. Of course they will. But I think what they're really saying is that representation matters. Representation matters. Being able to see yourself in others outside of you is huge for people, especially for people who've been sort of marginalized or on the outsides, for sure. Here's the thing: when kids see their own experiences reflected in the things they play with, it helps build belonging, empathy, and understanding. And those are, both those who share the experience and those who don't, right? So by seeing that out there in the world, perhaps those who don't experience autism will have a little bit more of that empathy, a little bit more understanding, a little bit of normalization, right? Representation that expands imagination and connection. I think that's pretty cool. Barbie and Mattel. Those dolls, I guess, are out, and they're obviously building demand and seeing how it'll sell, but I think it's really cool. So that's the story of how Mattel is spreading their kindness, changing a little bit of the way they see the world. I know, when the Barbie movie came out, it was huge, obviously, huge resurgence. And I also know over the years from my own experiences with my own myself, but also growing up and then raising my own children, I see it very, very differently. The way that things are represented, it just needs. It doesn't have to be. Oh, this is DEI. This is DEI. It's crazy. Da, da, da. It just is. It just is. Right. There are people who are different. We're all different. Right. And the more we can recognize that, realize it, try to understand it together, and have a little bit more humanity together, understand that we are uh, mostly the same in our hearts, right? In our hearts, we want connection, we want love, we want to feel safe, all those things that are just part of who we are as humans, and we should be able to connect on that. And I believe that's what Mattel is trying to say and trying to do with the Barbie fashionista, the whole model. I mean, I talk about the autistic Barbie, but I believe there are others that they are working on. It's a whole, it's apparently a line. And for me, that's really important too, because they're not just saying, oh, we're going to make a quick doll, throw it out there and say, oh, there they go. The autistic people, the neurodivergent people are happy because we made a doll. They probably are, but the fact that they're investing in an entire product line of individualism, of recognizing differences in people, it's pretty big, pretty iconic brand that is now just doing it, making it part of the world. That's cool. And don't forget, that's what you can do when you go live. You can make your brand. You can show your world, your values, your thoughts, your feelings. You can make connection with people. That's what I'm doing here on the Mornings in the Lab network. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to get over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. They're going to be waiting for you at 8 o'clock on the Mornings in the Lab network. And we have some more programming getting started up real soon. So be on the lookout for Cheryl Raphael Whitaker. She'll be starting her It Starts With Joy program real soon too. Did anybody else hear that? Holy moly. Two of my cats just screamed out. Obviously, they're chasing each other around. I think this little place I'm in is soundproof enough, but wow, it was loud. Be interesting to see what's going on. Very informative. Thank you, Carol Birdie. Thank you, Carol Birdie. Thanks, Aunt Carol, for showing up. I appreciate you every day. Aunt Carol, did you ever read this? As a Man Thinketh? That was my dad's book. Mom gave it to Deck, and Deck gave it to me, or I took it from Deck. And that's how we're here talking about that very thing today. Absolutely. So I do want to give you your little challenge for the day. Your compass and your call is very simple. It's a very simple one today. Plant one better thought and give it soil. That's 2 micro steps. Write the thought you want more of. Add one more environment cue that supports it, a reminder, a message to a friend, a note, whatever it is, because those little things compound. Whatever it is you want to do, write it. Write it in your head, write it on paper, write it on the computer. You could write it anywhere, because we'll talk about this a little bit more. He says it's already written on your heart. It's already written in your soul, and you know what it is because your thoughts are telling you what it is. It's just awareness of those thoughts. So I think that's really cool. So much goes back to Mr. Rogers. Absolutely. I mean, so much of what I talk about here every day is focused on the same stuff that we talked about. That's the whole point. Is these principles, these ideas. '03, like well over 100 years ago. Well, this says 1992, but that was obviously the anyway, early 20th century, 100 plus years ago, easy written. And it's all the same stuff. It still holds true because we are human. This is the human condition we are absolutely talking about here this morning. All right. So anyway, that's the beginning of our series on James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. I'll reread the inspiring quote that brought this subject to me. The vision that you glorify in your mind, the ideal that you enthrone in your heart, this will build you will build your life by. This you will become. So we'll be talking more about that throughout the week and leaning more into James Allen. I appreciate everyone for coming out today. We're going to end it a little early, but we're going to get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. I appreciate everyone for coming out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to come back right here, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, every Monday through Friday for Kindness Rising, your morning dose of hope, humanity, and heart. Thank you. All right. I forgot my official closing. Want to hear my official closing? No, this is what I think James Allen would say today. You can't always control the weather of your life, but you can choose what you plant. Circumstances don't make the man, they reveal him, and your thoughts become identity. Your identity becomes action. Action becomes habit, and habit becomes life. So be kind to your mind, build your life, stay uncommon, and stay kind.
Okay, Matt, we got the memo about the Kindness Rising promo, but what exactly are we promising people?
And is there craft services? Hey, I need snacks too.
Gentlemen, focus. Kindness Rising multiplies kindness and helps people get up on the right side of the bed.
So wait, we're not doing another angry headline show.
Exactly. We rise above the negative, divisive noise.
Translation, less rage bait, more high fives for humanity. And this is live, like actually live.
Yep. We go live on YouTube and LinkedIn, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, every weekday.
Wait, if it's live, what if I forget my lines?
Then you improvise.
Okay, so our tagline is basically wake up, tune in, and start your day with kindness.
Exactly. Kindness Rising. Good vibes, practical tips, and a reason to get up on the right side of the bed.
You heard the boss. Subscribe now before he makes us do a TikTok dance.
Kindness Rising. Wake up, tune in, and let's make some good noise.